Hey guys, if I could just give my opinion on this, this is first off, I just want to say yes. Hey, Robert Strauss, formerly Robbie E. I'm here, but yeah, I've been listening, and I just think it's out of this world that a guy who is as big of a star as Kevin Hart years ago might have said something remotely dumb, like every human has in history, and for that he's missing an opportunity of a lifetime to be part of the Oscars in front of his family and friends. And this was as big as a star he is. This was a big honor for him. And for something so stupid, he's getting pulled from. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, am I the only one that thinks that?
Hey, Rob, thanks for joining us. I got a question for you because I mean you're in that social media realm of being famous, being online. Has social media maybe hurt being famous in a way? Like, I mean, things that could come back to you being used against you even after maybe you may have matured or forgotten that you posted this online. I mean, we're talking about
Oh,
like old
I
stuff.
mean, yeah, completely. I mean, just me myself, I've been through a lot of processes with shows and things that I've done where there's been background checks on me, where luckily there was nothing bad enough to get me in trouble or keep me from getting a job, but where I got some stuff sent to me that I had to delete from my social media that was like
Mm.
the most ridiculous things, like a toy gun or, just things that could
Yeah.
anything come close to being something bad. So it's just crazy. But to to answer your question, I mean, yeah, I do think it's taken away from being famous because if I really think hard, and I'm sure if we Googled it right now, you could probably find a list of people who lost opportunities on big jobs they could have had over having something dumb that they wrote when they were a kid. And
Yeah.
I just think everybody makes mistakes, and that's just ridiculous. Things can be deleted. People should be able to be forgiven for that kind of stuff, unless it's something so drastic or it's something that they're currently doing now. If they're regularly on social media talking, racist kind of stuff or killing or anything like that, I get it. But if it's from something 20 years ago, I mean, it's not fair. We're
No.
different people now.
Definitely. It's we have the freedom of speech, but just don't have that freedom of just don't be an idiot all the time online, basically. But for being famous for yourself, how do you deal with what they call the internet trolls or just people that are always out there just to trash anything and everything? No matter what you do, do you get kind of people that just don't care, they hate you, and that's all they want to do is just trash anything? Do you
Yeah,
have a
no,
way of
I
dealing with
mean,
them?
well, they do. I mean, there's two things that are good for me. Luckily, I've been on your show before. I probably talked about this, but I live in like my own Robbie E world where I really don't care about anyone but myself. So like I don't focus. It's hard. It's very hard, even if I read this stuff to bring me down. I like focus on myself. I don't really know other things going on, so I don't always pay attention to dumb tweets and stuff on the internet like that. But then also the fact that I'm a pro wrestler, I'm playing a role. So a lot of the hate that I get for Robbie E or Robbie E sucks or I hate him or whatever, that's Robbie E. That's not really me, Robert Strauss. So like I could separate the two. So if you're bashing Robbie E, I'm like, well, I mean, in a way, I'm a bad guy. Maybe it's just because you hate me and my TV character. Maybe I'm just doing a good job of being a wrestler. So I'm able to kind of separate the two. But for the normal human who's getting all this hate mail and hate tweets and Instagram posts, when they're just a regular person, like a actor or a baseball player or a politician, them I feel bad for, because that is kind of hard to deal with. But because I'm used to being a bad guy, it's like sometimes I kind of like it when I get that stuff.
Sure. Now, like you mentioned too, since the last time we talked, you dropped the E and you gained the brand. Can you tell us a little bit about the Robert Strauss brand? Because I'm loving every minute of this right now.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you first and foremost, guys, your host, Steve Credo, is the man because if it wasn't for him, there would be no Robert Strauss brand because he is the creator of the awesome videos that you see all over my social media and House of Hardcore. So, Steve, thank you. Those videos you make are top notch and they're amazing,
Yeah.
and I do appreciate it. But as far as the character, it was time. Jersey Shore was played out, even though now it's back. Go figure. But I just felt that Robbie E had ran its course. I needed something new, and everyone in the world is a social media person now. Everyone on Instagram and Twitter thinks they're, this guru, and they write all these positive tweets, and half the time it's all, it's all BS anyway. So I figured, why not turn that into a character? So I'm basically, you know, a corrupt motivational guy. I just want your money, and I'll tell you that'll change your life. Similar to a Tony Robbins or a Gary Vee, and I come out with a little microphone, and it's cool. It's something different, and no one's really doing it in wrestling right now. So I think it's kind of like fun, and I think it fits me perfect.
I love it, man. It's great, and like I said, I'm just the enhancer. I love working with in the wrestling business and kind of taking some of my skills and enhancing your guys' ideas. So it's great to be a part of that. But you've also joined the podcast world on your own show with Matt Coon, Why It Ended. How's that been going for you, and how can our fans tune in and hear you guys each week?
Well, it's going awesome. I'm enjoying it. I didn't think I was gonna, because like I said earlier, I only care about myself, so I didn't think I'd care about other people's stories, but I do, and I'm excited every week to sit down with someone for an hour and hear why it ended for them, or why a portion of their career ended. We're on the MLW network. We're getting great numbers. People are loving it. We get 99% of our feedback is all positive. No one really ever has a problem with the show. Last week we had Tommy Dreamer. This coming week, we have David Arquette, so we're getting some great guests. And, yeah, it's really something different. It's a different approach to an interview based into why their careers have ended, so it gets right to the point. And, yeah, I mean, Matt Coon is the man, and I'm enjoying doing it. So every Wednesday, it drops on the MLW Network, and you can get it on iTunes or whyitended.com or anywhere you get your podcast. It's there.
Awesome. Now, the biggest news, I think, though, coming up for 2019 is that you are also appearing on The Rock's new show, The Titan Games. What exactly can you tell us about this show if you have no non-disclosure agreements going on here? But, I know it debuts on January, NBC. What was the selection process like, and is there just anything you could tell us about the games itself and being a part of it?
Well, I break those agreements anyway. No, I'm just kidding. It's kind of like the American Gladiators on steroids. It's, 30-second to 2 or 3 minute competitions of just like insane stuff that you're doing. And the more wins you get, the further you go to eventually be a part of The Rock's team. It's from the makers of American Ninja Warrior, so it's hardcore. And the set is worth watching alone. It's unbelievable. It's like based almost like the movie 300. It's very rustic and old school. And I mean, The Rock's the host, so anything The Rock touches is gold. So it's going to be a great show, and I mean, you get to see me compete. So I mean, it's a win-win for everybody.
Nice.
January 3rd, it drops, first episode NBC.
Nice, and you're amongst one of the select few of Titans who were selected. I mean, how many people tried out for these games, and what was it like when you found out that you were going to be a part of it?
Well, it's funny because originally it was the number that The Rock stated was over 80,000 applicants. But now he just posted the other day that it ended up being over 100,000 applicants. It's one of the most tried out for reality shows ever. But funny enough, I didn't even try out. I didn't even know what the show was. Through my muscle and fitness Dad Bod Destroyer videos where I was doing workouts with my baby twins. Someone from casting on the show saw one of those videos, reached out to me. They flew me to LA. I had to go through, they flew about 120 of us there for this final fitness competition. And then they chose half of us for the final cast. So that was it. I mean, it was luck. I lucked out, and it's been a great opportunity. It's great exposure. And I mean, man, I got to become best friends with The Rock. How cool am I?
That's awesome, man. We've come full circle where we started off with all the negativity happening on social media, but look at that. I mean, just from the power of social media, you were seen. They saw you. They wanted you. They casted you. So I mean, it's a little dream come true where you didn't have to do anything, and you still got called for it. So.
Hey, you're right. I was telling Bully Ray the same exact story the other day that I just told you, and that's what his answer was. Wow. So the world of social media hooked it up for you. Great. And it's true. So social media does have its perks. I mean, anybody can see anything at any time. And, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all that, it is free. So that's why I always tell wrestlers and everything, utilize this stuff. Get yourself over. You never know who you're going to connect with or who is going to see what. Anything could happen.
Awesome, man. Well, Robert Strauss, the Robert Strauss brand, we wish you nothing but the best. Thanks for stopping by today. And where can all the fans keep up with you and maybe troll you on the internet?
Well, no problem. I love anything with you, Steve. I love you're the man. But for me, Twitter and Instagram is at Robert Strauss. And and then just remember, Wednesdays, like I said earlier, Why It Ended drops. Make sure you're listening and leaving 5-star ratings and reviews and give the podcast a chance. I think you'll really enjoy it.
All right, Rob. Thanks so much, man.